Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101. I'm Terry Cameron. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to hop on over to Apple Podcast, give me a rating, write me a review, maybe even ask me some questions. You can reach me via email at 10minutessalestalk@hot.rr.com. Shoot me anything you want, any questions you have, and I promise I will address them in a future episode. So let's go ahead and get started today. In today's episode, I want to talk about why you sell cars. I'd like to know why you sell cars. Why did you choose this profession? What led you into it? I can tell you what happened to me. I spent 10 and a half years in the Army, and I was pretty successful in the Army, but I got tired of saying goodbye to my wife and my son. And then I got tired of arguing with them when I came back saying, yeah, I am your dad. That's just a joke. But I got tired of saying goodbye. So I decided to get out of the Army, and I really wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I did have the opportunity to maybe sell life insurance and different kind of investment products. And I started that for about 3 months, and I met a gentleman who later became a very good friend of mine and just happened to own the dealership that I work for. And he talked me into selling cars. Now, I know for a fact that I was not planning on being a car salesperson for the rest of my life. That just didn't make sense. That was, it was a job. But when I started making money, I realized this is something that can carry me through the rest of my career, the rest of my life, and give me an opportunity to take care of my family and my children and give them a lifestyle that I didn't have. I grew up in the ghetto. Sometimes I like to say it was the ghetto of the ghetto. But I didn't want my family to have to live that way. So 30 years later, I'm still here. So I'm asking you, why do you sell cars? Why did you choose this? Now, I wish podcasts also had video, and maybe they do. I'm just not smart enough to know that. But I'd like to show you a video of what goes on in my showroom on a daily basis. I can look across the showroom, and I have practically all of my salespeople that are not actively talking with a customer. They're sitting on their butts, looking at their phone, and it just happens to be Facebook. Now, I know Facebook is a good tool. We can all use it. But what a waste of time. I mean, who wants to come spend 8, 10, 12 hours at a dealership looking at their screen, looking at Facebook? But I can tell you this much. The salespeople that are selling cars, and what I mean by selling cars, I'm not talking about superstars. I'm talking about 15 cars a month plus at my dealership, are also the ones that are not spending all their free time watching YouTube videos and talking to people on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is. They're actually doing something productive. Now, I know that we can't be the only dealership like that. So I went to visit a friend at another dealership for lunch, and I noticed the exact same thing in his showroom. Salespeople all over the place with their heads down to the point where customers were walking in the door and walked right past them. They didn't notice them. They didn't recognize them. They didn't stand up and say, "Welcome to my dealership." They just walked right on by. I want you to picture that. Does that happen at your dealership? Does that happen to you? So I asked him, I can't say his name because I don't want this to get out to anybody else, but I said, "Where are your top salespeople?" And he pointed to a corner of the showroom, and there were 4 people over there on the phones, not looking at the phones, but on the phones, talking to customers. One of them just happens to sell 40 cars every single month. Doesn't matter. The other 3 were 25 to 30 car salespeople. They didn't waste their time. He said they're never on Facebook. If they are, they make it a point to say, "I'm on break." And they'll spend 15 minutes doing something like Facebook, some entertainment, where some of us like to go out and smoke a cigarette. Not me. I'd rather stay at work myself, but some of us like to go out and take a break. That's what these guys do. They take their breaks, and that's when they spend their 15 minutes on Facebook, Twitter, playing a video game, whatever it is. So again, why are you selling cars? Why did you choose this? Is it because it's not hard to do? You can actually come to work and sit around all day and do nothing, and every other day maybe sell a car? If that's the case, you really need to start thinking about doing something else. Stop looking out the window and wondering what's out there. Look into the mirror. Look at yourself. Try to figure out if this is what you want to do. If this is such a lucrative profession, and it's really not hard. I always like to say it's simple. It may not be easy, but it's simple. But you know the hard part of it is the habits that we develop. Our top salespeople across the world have really good habits. They spend their downtime with customers, with trying to drum up some business, with trying to better their profession. They'll role play. They'll learn their product a little bit more. They'll do anything they can to make them better. And I'm here to tell you that the difference between a 15-car salesperson and a 30-car salesperson is not very much. It's just changing your habits and sticking to them. So think about it. Why are you selling cars? Is it because it's just a job? It's something that can put some food on the table for now? If it is, you need to look elsewhere, because this is an awesome, awesome profession, and it could lead to the, like I say, the sky's the limit. 6 figures for people without college degrees, just because they know how to develop good habits, follow through, and they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. They know what's going to happen in the future if they continue to work hard. So again, why did you choose to sell cars? Is it because you know there's an opportunity for you to grow, an opportunity for you to make tons of money, tons of memories, to not worry about Christmas times, birthdays, grocery day? It's so nice having the ability to not run out of money before the month is over. Again, why are you selling cars? Please don't come to work to wait. Don't waste your management's efforts, your dealer's efforts, and your customer's time if you're not going to be the professional that they expect to deal with, both your fellow employees and your customers. Make this a career, not a job, which stands for just over broke. If you start thinking of selling cars as a career, you're going to start making more money, and you're going to start enjoying the career more. You'll be able to see the options and where you may be able to move up. Maybe not in your own dealership, but other dealerships may have some opportunities. Something may happen there, and when the word gets out that you are a professional, everybody's going to want you. You get to pick and choose. You might have the opportunity to move from sales into finance, and finance to sales manager, if you prefer, to general sales manager. You might even have the opportunity to own a dealership sometime. And while we're talking about that, think about it. Think about this. If you owned the dealership, would you hire you, the 8-car salesperson, the 10-car salesperson with bad habits that comes to work to wait, that they strictly work with ups, fresh ups that come in, and maybe get fed a few internet leads every once in a while, but we don't do anything to generate our own business? Would you hire that person? Now, I want to motivate you. I don't want to bring you down by talking about this, but it's easy. Now, motivation is one thing. There's tons of ways to get motivation, but you need drive. Drive comes from within. Nobody else can do that. It's got to be you. And you got to put your foot down. You got to say, you know what, tomorrow, when I get to work tomorrow, or when I get to work today, or when I get back to work after this vacation, I am doing it. And write it down. Write down what you're going to do. Those habits, that follow-up, even the bad follow-up, the ones that you don't want to call, the prospecting, the role-playing, practicing the demo, which brings up another point. If you're going to sell cars, you got to be in the car when the customer drives. Man, why do you sell cars? Is it just for a job? If it's a career and you don't know what you're supposed to do, just ask. YouTube, podcast, videos, there's sales schools, there's all kinds of things you can do. Why do you sell cars? Ask yourself that question. As a matter of fact, get up, look in the mirror right now and say, I sell cars because. And answer the question honestly to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. This is a great profession. If you put the effort into it, you come to work, not to wait, and you do what you're supposed to do day in and day out, you're going to make a great living, and you're going to enjoy what you do. You're going to be so proud of it, you'll be telling your friends, family, everywhere you go, yes, I sell cars for a living, and I'm damn good at it. So if you need anything, you need to come see me and send all your friends and family. I promise I'm going to take care of them because I'm a pro. All right, guys, remember, the sky's the limit. It really is. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutesalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share the show with a friend.